Today, good evening, everyone. The time is now 6:12. It is December 11th, 2025, and this CPOC Commissioners meeting is hereby called to order. This CPOC Commissioners meeting was properly advertised pursuant to the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act. My name is Hassan Bennett. I am the chair of the Citizens Police Oversight Commission, and I will be facilitating this meeting. Commissioners, as we go on, it is now roll call. Please acknowledge you're here when I say your name. Commissioner Melanie DeBose.
Commissioner, if you could say that one more time, I'm not sure they heard you.
This is Commissioner DeBose. I am present.
Commissioner DeBose is here. Good evening, Commissioner DeBose. Commissioner Michelle Enix Kenny.
Commissioner Michelle Enix Kenny present. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Commissioner. Commissioner Gilberto Gonzalez.
Commissioner Gilberto Gonzalez present.
Good evening, Commissioner. Commissioner John Solomon.
Commissioner Solomon here, present.
Good evening, Commissioner. Commissioner Erica Stewart.
Commissioner Stewart present. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Commissioner Latanya Whitehead.
Commissioner Whitehead present. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Of course, my name is Hassan Bennett, and I am present. And last but definitely not least, the Vice Chair of the Citizens Police Oversight Commission, Commissioner Malika Rahman.
Commissioner Rockman present. Chair, I believe Commissioner PA is joining us as well.
Commissioner PA present.
Okay. Next, has everyone had a chance to review tonight's meeting agenda? Has anyone not had a chance to review tonight's meeting agenda? And with that said, do I hear a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda?
Commissioner Solomon, I motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda.
That is Commissioner Solomon with the motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda. Does anyone second that motion?
Vice Chair Rockman here. I second the motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda.
And with that, we have a motion on the table to approve tonight's meeting agenda. All in favor of approving tonight's meeting agenda, say aye.
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 Anyone not in favor, say nay. And with that, the ayes have it unanimously. Next, it is committee. It is time where we have learned each other's strengths. We know what we need as commissioners, and we will now, well, not tonight, but we will propose the idea of breaking into committees. Please be advised that the committees are subject to the Sunshine Act. So as we break into committees, please know that we have to have public meetings when we break into committees as well. With that being said, the basic ideas for the basic committees right now are governance, that is bylaws, internal operations, procedures, so forth and so on. Number 2, community engagement committee. Number 3, the executive evaluations committee. And number 4 will be the communications committee. Commissioners, if you have any ideas for different committees moving forward, please let us know. Does anyone have any questions or comments regarding this proposal? And with that, no questions or comments.
Chair.
Oh, you got one
Yes.
hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Speak,
okay.
fellas. Speak, Commissioner. Speak.
Okay. I did have my hand raised. This is Vice Chair Rockman here.
Hmm.
Will that written proposal with the list of the committees be sent out to commissioners?
We can do that.
Okay.
We can have a written proposal sent out to commissioners. I was thinking, and maybe I asked for either our executive director or deputy director or attorney Twig to help me out with this. Is the committee something we have to do on a public meeting? Like the joining of the committees, the opening of the committees. Do we have to do this on a public meeting?
You don't have to do that part on a public meeting, but whatever committees you all come up with, when those committees meet, those meetings will have to be on a public meeting.
And all right, thank you. We appreciate it. There is also a second part to this committee proposal. I and we could table it for now and just think about it later, and you guys could think of how you would like this done. But incorporating or allowing a member of the community to join the committee. Of course, they will their vote wouldn't count as the quorum, but just to have input and each committee, I would propose at least a community member on each committee. And we could think about that later. We could make a vote on that later. But it's the idea is to be more open to the community, increase our activities in the community, and increase our not only visibility but our validation, our validity within the community. So, does anyone has any questions or comments regarding that portion of the proposal?
Yeah, I like the fact that we're going to include a community person simply because they could be commissioners in training. They'll understand a little bit more, and could be down the road be considered as for this position. So no, that's a great idea.
And that is Commissioner Gilberto Gonzalez.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Um, we do have a and this is just from Commissioner Vice Chair Commissioner Rockman. This information should be formally presented to the commissioners in a proposal with clearly identified roles and responsibilities. I agree. With that, I agree. Does anyone else have comments or questions? And with no more comments and questions, that it concludes our part of not the whole meeting, but the beginning of the meeting. And now I will pass the meeting over to our executive director, Tanya McClary.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, agency report, I will start as we always do with reminding the community about the mission of CPOC, which is to oversee and investigate the conduct, policies, and practices of the Philadelphia Police Department. And so to remind the community that we currently receive complaints of police misconduct, we receive commendations to celebrate officers who go above and beyond the call of duty. We audit and monitor internal affairs investigations and police disciplinary processes. We sit and vote on PBI panels at police discipline hearings. We conduct oversight of police shootings. We analyze police data. We develop policy recommendations and reports, and we engage in outreach and training. We always like to remind the community why civilian oversight is necessary. Because I think, sometimes people are like, well, why do we need oversight? And it's for many reasons. And it protects human rights. It promotes constitutional policing. It increases public confidence and trust in the police. It builds bridges between law enforcement and the public. It supports effective policing. It ensures greater accountability and enhances risk management. And I always like to give an example of one of these. And so tonight I want to talk a little bit about protecting human rights. And so I think that, we all know that there are segments of our community where people have special needs because of the communities that they are a part of. So, for example, we do a lot with the deaf community. And so, as you can imagine, there are not a lot of officers that do American Sign Language. But nevertheless, people that are deaf or hearing impaired encounter things with the police. And so, what we've been doing is really trying to work with the Philadelphia Police Department to bring them concerns from this community so that we can ensure that if they ever have to come in contact with someone from this community, that that person's human rights are intact. And so I will give just an example of something that we may not think about, those of us who are not hearing impaired or deaf, when we think about a human right. And so it's a human right for people to be able to be able to communicate freely. And so in that community, when they are doing sign language, they are using their hands. And so, as we all know, that sometimes when we come in contact with the police, people are put in handcuffs. So, just think about if you are a member of the deaf community or the hearing impaired community and you are put in handcuffs, we have now, or the police have now, removed your ability to communicate. They have removed your ability to speak your language. And so it's things like that that unless we are members of certain communities that it is so easy for us to forget. And so we have to, talk about these things and remind the police department about these things that if they are encountering someone from this community and you're putting that person in handcuffs, what is their ability to try to mediate what's going on the scene, to be able to communicate with an officer about what's going on to the scene, etc. And then also reminding the community that there are tools that the police department has put in place that we are excited about. And so we also want to promote when they're doing good things. So the Philadelphia Police Department actually has a form, and I'm going to ask the Director of Outreach in just a second, Director Grimmage, to give us the name of that form. But there is a form that you can fill out and submit to the Philadelphia Police Department to alert them that there is someone that is deaf or hard of hearing living in a household. And so the hope there is that if the police come to that address, they will already know that they may need to have special tools available. They need to be able to have somebody that can translate. And so that is the service that they already provide. So Director Grimmage, if you can just let us know the name of that form, that would be great.
Yes, it's called the Premise History Form. And so you can fill it out as Executive Director McCleary said, and you can let the police department know of anyone in the household that may have some challenges, or if there's some things that the police need to know if they come to that address. So it can be the person is deaf. You can say that someone doesn't have their mobility. Maybe there's an elderly person that's not able to walk or uses a wheelchair. Someone in the household may be on the autism spectrum. Really anything that the police need to know if they ever come to that address is helpful. So the premise history form, you can get it from your local police district, or you can reach out to CPOC. We have them in English and in Spanish, and we can provide them to the community if they need it. And it looks like Jody has dropped it in the chat in case anyone wants to have it right now.
And so I am going to turn it over to our investigations division, but that is just one of the ways that civilian oversight helps protect human rights, by working with the department and working with the community to highlight services that are available to them, but also to potentially lift up gaps and concerns from various communities regarding their rights, so that there can be, and that also helps us to bridge the bridge between law enforcement and the public. And so that is an example that kind of serves two prongs of why civilian oversight is necessary. So with that, I am going to turn it over to our investigations division. And so I'm going to turn it over to our senior investigator to lead us in this part of the meeting.
All right. Thank you, Tanya. I'm going to go over, good evening, everyone. I'm going to go over some of the things that happened in the month of November. And we'll just give a brief overview here. So in terms of the police shootings, after a police shooting, investigators received the materials, including the evidence from PPD, and we analyze it to understand how the incident occurred. And much of that information is confidential and not released to the public by PPD or the DA. And we put out a public statement. And the purpose of us putting out a public statement is to, one, review the facts and make them public. Review the facts made public by PPD and summarize those facts that are consistent with CPOC's initial review after we review all the available evidence. And then also number two is to identify categories of information that the PPD or the DA's office have not made public yet, but they may be important for the public to know. So, like I said previously, in the month of November, we had one police shooting at a person, and CPOC tracks all police shootings, which include every time a Philadelphia police officer from the Philadelphia Police Department discharges their firearm at a person or an animal, and that excludes deer as of right now. As of the end of November, there have been 10 police shootings at people, and our office maintains a website to update the public on police shootings shortly after they occur. The link is here in that slide, and I believe Jody has also dropped it in the chat. So thank you, Jody, for that. But the website provides an overview of PPD procedures, CPOC's role, and the details about police shootings at people. So in the month of November, we had the one police shooting at a person, and it occurred on November 30th at approximately 4:10 a.m. Officers from the 25th District responded to a call involving a person with a gun on the 900 block of West Erie Avenue. Upon arrival, officers encountered a woman with a gun to her head. Officers then ordered the woman to drop the gun and attempted to use a taser on her. The woman continued to hold the gun and ran away from officers who followed her down the street. According to the police department, the woman then pointed the gun at officers, and two officers on the scene then fired their handguns, striking her. And she was transported to the hospital in critical condition and subsequently passed away from her wounds. CPOC investigators responded to the scene and are continuing to review the evidentiary materials provided by PPD. And then we just have a short clip here from the news about that shooting.
Philadelphia. Authorities say 35-year-old Christina Miranda was holding a gun to her head when officers showed up on the 900 block of West Erie Avenue just after 4 yesterday morning. Police used a taser on Miranda after she refused to drop the gun. Investigators say it had no effect. That's when Miranda allegedly took off running and pointed the gun at police, prompting two officers to fire. Miranda died at the hospital yesterday afternoon. No one else was hurt. The department's officer-involved shooting investigation unit, internal affairs, and the district attorney's office are now investigating.
I believe that's it for me. If anybody has any questions or anything like that.
Did anybody have any questions for Jeff before we go to outreach? All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So
I
we
do
will.
have a question.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, for my apologies. This is sad, sad circumstances. And I don't know if you may know this or anything, but is there any mental health history with this with the I don't with the woman that was shot?
As of right now, I don't have medical history for that, so I wouldn't be able to answer that accurately.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. What I do have is evidence from the scene, including body-worn camera and things of that nature. But
Hmm.
medical history and medical examination and things like that are not things that I have just yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll reserve my questions then.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Jody. My name is Talia Grimmage. I am the Director of Outreach and the Training Division. And as I say, every month I have the esteemed privilege of working with some dynamic superstars that help lead a lot of the forward-facing work of the agency. But in case you are new, the Outreach and Training Division is tasked with handling incoming complaints along with other staff, providing constituent services to city residents who need resources and connection with other city services, facilitating our community education and training of staff, as well as engaging with the many diverse communities of our city. We create content and manage all social media pages for the agency, and we accept and respond to media inquiries. We can go ahead and move to the next slide. Okay, so as I do every month, I just want to spend some time just highlighting some national awareness that may be going on and to just provide a little bit of community education and tips to those that are tuning in or who may watch this video. So December is National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. And so, as we know, this is the time of year, actually starting, in November, but this is the time of year where people are usually in a more festive mood. There may be a lot of families coming together for various holidays. And often people are just enjoying and experiencing, they're feeling good. They're with their family, with their friends. Maybe some employers are having holiday events or end of the year events. And so we just wanted to provide a few CPOC community safety tips in honor of National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. And so, first things first, we want you to have holiday fun, but please be safe. So, what you can do is if you are going to a family event, maybe you can arrange to stay at a relative's house or a friend's house overnight if you happen to be celebrating the holidays or the end of year with alcohol. Maybe you want to take the night off. You can download a rideshare app like Uber or Lyft, or maybe some others, or you can ask a sober friend to drive you home if you think that you might be imbibing. Don't mix and mingle. Okay, this is something to keep in mind. If you take medication, be aware of how it might be affected if you mix it with alcohol or other substances. When in doubt, obviously contact your doctor to get more information about that. Okay, collections. Maybe you are hosting an event and you're serving alcohol. Please consider collecting guest card keys when they arrive, just so that you can hold on to them because you're responsible. Know your limit. Have fun, but do it in moderation if that is your choice. And of course, always you can get creative. If you're a designated driver, or maybe you're just enjoying the holiday season or your friends or family, and maybe you do not partake, There are many fun drinks that can be made zero proof, which is without alcohol. And so while we want people to enjoy themselves, we want everyone to be safe. The Philadelphia Police Department Directive 3.4 outlines driving under the influence and what their directive says about what officers do if they encounter someone who is under the influence of alcohol or a controlled substance. There is a link right there if anyone is just interested in taking a look at that police directive so you know what happens. But we definitely want everyone to enjoy the end of year celebrations, but be safe. Don't put other people at risk. And certainly be aware of how law enforcement responds if someone is driving under the influence. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the things that I love about this city and our city government is that we often like to highlight the work that each of us does. And so CPOC had an amazing opportunity to participate in the Office of the Chief Integrity Officer. They hosted a officer boards and commission showcase. This was part of their Integrity Week. They have Integrity Week every single month. Once a year, excuse me. And this year they highlighted the city boards and commissions, and they asked CPOC to participate. And so our executive director and our commission chair spoke at that virtual showcase. If you are unfamiliar with the Office of the Chief Integrity Officer, it was established in 2008 throughout the executive and administrative branch of city government. That office promotes honesty, integrity, transparency, and accountability. So you can understand why they wanted to highlight this amazing agency that we all are a part of. In this role, their office ensures the city's day-to-day operations are conducted openly, fairly, and on a level playing field. They create and support compliance programs to proactively identify and prevent wrongdoing. They provide individualized and confidential guidance on city ethics laws and policies, including the mayor's executive order on gifts. So this is the office that you would contact around this time of year. If maybe someone sends something to the office that's a gift or they want to give you something, you definitely may want to check with the Office of the Chief Integrity Officer to make sure as a city employee you are able to accept a gift. If it's something that you can share with the office, that might be accepted. But if it's something just to you and your role, you may want to check to see if that is appropriate. They offer ethics education through training and communications, and they improve transparency of and accessibility to city information and open data. And so I'll pause here in case our executive director or commission chair just want to talk about their participation. But I will say I watched the virtual showcase, and I did hear the moderator just say how CPOC was one of the only commissions that was highlighted that had some real good authority. So we kind of stood out because most of the people on the program, while they obviously are an important function of the city, they were more in an advisory capacity, and we really had some authority to really get some things done. So they were very happy to have us as sort of a refreshing change as part of this showcase. So Tanya, if you or Hassan want to just maybe talk a little bit about what that was like, I think people might want to hear from you.
I'm just going to turn it over to the chair.
To find out our director of outreach actually highlighted this, that we, as the Citizens Police Oversight Commission, does not stay. There was 3 types of commissions. I have the paperwork in my file, but there's 3 types of commissions, and in our role, the fact that we have a strong authority because number one, we don't just sit as an advisory. We actually have empowerment and the power to hire. We have the power to subpoena powers that a lot of other commissions or boards throughout the city didn't have. So that was a shocking shocking to me, especially after the appointment of the board of prisons, Citizens Prison Oversight Commission. If you see their legislation differs from ours as commissioners. So that was definitely shocking to me to see how much, as we've heard numerous times when this legislation was being voted upon among city council. We heard it through the radio that the Citizens Police Oversight Commission has teeth. Yeah, we definitely we got some teeth over here. So to see that this was cried out for by the public and it happened shows the importance of this body. And you know, everybody has their part. So the importance of this body to not only the citizens of Philadelphia, but government as a whole. So that was a shocker to me, and being able, one of the only commissions that has well expressed a backbone outside of Philadelphia, a network outside of Philadelphia and NACOL. So I was proud to speak for CPOC. I was proud to answer the questions for CPOC, and it was a good experience. It was definitely a good experience for this agency.
Yes, yes. Well said. Well said. And listen, this is a prime example of how important it is to hang in there and stay the course, because we have some authority and we stood out from the other places that were highlighted. But let's say you had to dig in the crates and go way back a couple years. We would have been in the category of just being an advisory board or just, so this is why you cannot give up. There is some board or agency that might have been on when we were, and maybe a couple years from now, they'll be in a different category as well. So you have to hang in there and just keep the mission going.
And one more thing, we were the only government agency that had somebody from the board as well as their executive director there. So that display of unification did not go unnoticed.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, we can move on to the next slide. Yes, yes. So, the Philly Policy Forum. This is a organization. They get together and they host the Philadelphia Committee on City Policy. And so they have some wonderful discussions and luncheons every single month between September and June. The PCCP informs, educates, and engages citizens, civic leaders, and its members on the policies and initiatives to address key issues facing the city. The PCCP's Philly Policy Forum serves as a bridge between the government, nonprofits, and private and philanthropic sectors, as well as being an important social connection for our diverse members and participants. And CPOC is in a unique position because one of our staff members, Allison Tatey, she is a part of PCCP. It's wonderful. We have such a diverse staff that have all of these different areas of expertise and interest. And so CPOC often will attend some of these events so that we can meet other city leaders, learn about other city services and ways we can work together. And in November, the luncheon focused on Scott Stevenson. He is the president and CEO of the Museum of the American Revolution. And so many of us went. You can see there's a couple pictures here. The picture at the bottom is of the PCCP team. And up top, of course, it's our executive director. We have Commissioner Whitehead that was with us, Allison from our data unit, myself, Mr. Stevenson, and Damon, our training and outreach manager. So if you see these emails from the team, please, please, please let us know if you would like to come with us, because this is great information and it is a chance to learn about a lot of the other groups and agencies in the city that provide services. And it's important for us to know about who our potential partners and city government peers are. Okay, yes, we were out in the community as we often are. Frankfurt High School, we have made such a wonderful connection with them, and we often go over there to talk to the youth. And they reach out to us whenever they're having, events where there are students, family, faculty, parents, staff. And so we went over to the high school to participate in their holiday giveaway. Next slide, please. Okay, just wanted to mention this very briefly. If you are interested in attending a CAP PBI hearing, here are the dates listed. Those hearings are open to the public if they are CAPs, which means they are complaints against police that stemmed from a member of the community, December 18th or December 29th. Those are the two CAP hearings for this month. We have some instructions here on the screen. If you have an interest, call that number prior to 10 a.m. just to be sure that the hearing is still ongoing. And the day of, you want to enter through the Broad Street entrance. You want to tell the security that you're there for a PBI hearing. You're going to have to go through a metal detector. Security will contact PBI, who will give permission for access. And then if you are admitted, you can go to the PBI hearing room and you'll be escorted by someone from that team. And so before we, I think this might be the end of my slides, but I just wanted to just give a little bit more detail on what you can potentially expect if you ever come to a PBI hearing that is from a complaint stemming from a community member. And so think of a court case. You have the PBI panel. It is 3 individuals. 1 is a member of CPOC. 2 are high-ranking members of the Philadelphia Police Department. And so the panel is looking for 2 things. Number 1, did the Philadelphia Police Department have a policy that prohibited the conduct? And number 2, did that conduct occur? And so you have the department advocate. That individual will act as sort of the prosecutor. They will talk about the allegation of misconduct. They will talk about the case itself. And then you have the officer who is alleged to have acted improperly. And they are represented by their FOP attorney, who will act as a defense attorney, give, rebuttal testimony or talk about why their, the officer is not, has not engaged in anything improper. And so the panel independently will make their own decision on what they think the discipline should be, if they think discipline should occur, or perhaps they don't feel that there was any misconduct that took place. Everyone independently fills out what they think the verdict should be, and that is submitted to the police commissioner to make a decision on what he or she thinks is the best course of action. So that is what you can expect if you come to a CAP hearing. If you have an interest in how misconduct complaints move through the system and what happens when the department is addressing it, it's definitely something you may want to come and observe. And I think that is it for me. I will stop there in case anyone has any thoughts or questions or anything they want to share about the outreach presentation or anything else dealing with outreach and engagement. You're breaking my heart. All right. Going once? Okay. Well, I'm here if anybody, if you think of something a little bit later, I'll be here until the meeting ends. So thank you for the space. I'll turn it back over to you, Director McCleary.
And I just want to remind folk, you always hear a lot from us. As you can see, we have an amazing outreach and education team. But CPOC is turning 5 next year. And so we are looking forward to engaging with you all as we always do, but look forward to some special events next year as CPOC turns 5. And we were also working on our annual report. And so we will be letting the community know when that is available because then you can see all the phenomenal work that CPOC has done in 2025. And so just wanted to give you a few highlights of some things that you will be hearing about and that are coming up. And so with that, Chair, we will turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Ms. McClary. Once again, it's that time of the meeting, the community comment. Be advised, I will be reading this the community comment. If you have any questions or comments for the Citizens Police Oversight Commission, as I am reading this, you can either put it in the chat or raise your hand while I am reading this comment. We will be making a little bit of alterations to this community colloquy, so please pay attention. And with that being said, we welcome public comment and feedback. Please address your comment to the chair. If you would like to speak, please provide your full name. We will not be unmuting anonymous participants. If you are a member of the media, please identify yourself as such. You can indicate that you would like to speak by raising your hand or sending a request to the meeting host in the chat. You may also submit public comment through the chat. You will have 3 minutes to address the commissioners. I will keep time and notify the board when those 3 minutes have elapsed. Any documents or follow-up communications can be submitted to cpoc@phila.gov. That is CPOC, the @ at PHILA.gov. Public comment should be limited to topics covered by CPOC, not just covered in this meeting, covered by CPOC. All public commenters must refrain from offensive language, threats, and or harassments. Participants that violate these instructions will be removed from the meeting immediately. While we welcome your public comment and feedback, commissioners may not be able to respond to your questions or comments during tonight's meeting. Every attempt will be made to follow up by phone and or email after the meeting. You can contact the Citizens Police Oversight Commission by using the email I stated earlier, and that is cpoc@phila.gov, or you can call the Citizens Police Oversight Commission. 1 second, I'm sorry. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Where did it cut off at?
I believe you're going to provide the phone number.
All right, thank you. At 215-685-0891. And that you can contact the Citizens Police Oversight Commission at 215-685-0891. And with that, Jody, do we have any hands raised or comments in the chat?
We do not.
Does any commissioners have any comments, questions, or proposals at this time? And with that, no comments, questions, or proposals, do I hear a motion at this time?
Vice Chair Rockman here. I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
That is Commissioner Malika Rockmom motioning to adjourn tonight's meeting. Does anyone second that motion?
This is
Commissioner
Commissioner White.
Gonzalez.
Oh, Gonzalez, go on.
No, you got it.
This is Commissioner Whitehead. I second that motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 6:57 p.m.
And with Commissioner Vice Chair Malika Rockmom motioning to adjourn tonight's meeting and it being seconded by Commissioner Latanya Whitehead, all those in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting, say aye.
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 All those that oppose the motion, say nay. And with that, at 6:58 p.m., this meeting is adjourned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else.
Good